So, Cooper Flagg is ridiculously good at the sport of basketball. I think we could all be in agreement for that. The guy is extremely, extremely good at basketball. And I mean, there's not much more to it. Like, this is look, there's no guarantee anywhere when it comes to draft picks. And Dylan Harper's been brilliant as well. But man, Cooper Flagg, it's going to be hard not to pick Cooper Flagg number one. Before we get on to it, we're doing Hoopsmas. We're uploading 10 videos on average every day between the 1st and the 25th of December. Right now we are, like, what were we? A couple of days in. We're probably going to get 8 videos up today, but still, it's going to be an average of 10 a day by the end of it. Before we get on to that as well, if you guys are new, subscribe. Did we just hit it? We just hit 100 subscribers today, so we don't have any other goals, but if you guys are new to the channel, that would be greatly appreciated. Cooper Flagg is hooping. Like, his points, it could be better. I'm doing 4 assists, 8.6 boards per game, and let's see here, against Auburn, in probably the biggest game they've had, against the number 2 Auburn. Against the number 1 Kansas, he didn't have the greatest game, only 13 points, but they did lose by 3, which is not ideal. But at the same time, like, you've got a guy who bounced back then against Auburn with 22 points, 4 assists, 2 blocks, 3 steals. And his shooting has been horrific. I think we can be honest with that. He is not scoring at the efficiency that people would hope. That's the only negative. And if you expect him to come right in and be the guy on, like, just straight up the guy, it's going to be a tough one for him to come in and be like a 20-point a game scorer in the NBA. But he doesn't really have that much of a flaw. Like, he can be really, really good. And he's the type of player that you can build around, because scorers, there are a lot of scorers. Like, there are scorers that have almost no value, like a Cam Thomas. You can find a scorer, but what you can't find is a guy to do everything else, and that's what Cooper Flagg does. But anyway, like, you see here, Cooper Flagg exhibits Duke basketball captain quality in the locker room. 17 years old, he's an exemplary leader on and off the court. Rather than zoom in on Isaiah Evans' constantly endearing celebrations, follow his 6 3-point splashes in the first half of the statement-made Duke basketball squad's win over Auburn. Duke Blue Devils and SI focused on a long cemented centerpiece, Cooper Flagg's reactions to his fellow All-Americans breakout show. When it comes to embracing the unavoidable centerpiece of binding Blue Devils together in size fixing the ultimate prize, perhaps that's where 17-year-olds most beyond his years. The fact, one could argue, that not even his piece of cake, 22 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, 0 turnovers, only 2 fouls in a win against, in a manner in which he talked about Evans' night, it's with absolute sincerity in the locker room. So this is what he had said.
Cooper, talk about Isaiah Evans, the lift that he gave you off the bench. How neat was that to see him really fire up in big moments?
That's something that you don't see every day for a guy like Isaiah, who had an incredible high school career, to come in and not start how he would have hoped here, but just to stay ready and just work every single day. I mean, he's been one of the hardest workers on the team for sure. For him to just stay ready and be ready for that moment, it takes a lot. So I'm just really proud of him.
But yeah, that's the thing when it comes to Cooper Flagg. Like, I think he's 17. The only downside I see when it comes to Cooper Flagg, if you are I think a lot, you can maybe argue, everyone's like, oh, he's mature beyond his years, he's 17. You can maybe argue about the ceiling, but he's like a year younger than everybody else. He's like a week. If he was literally a week younger, he would be ineligible for this year's draft. He reclassified up and is extremely, extremely young. Like, he's not that much. Remember when, what's his name, went to Memphis? I forgot his name. Amani Bates. And everyone's talking about him going to the NBA and he'll be this, like, unbelievable player, and he's barely older than Monty Bates was when he went to Memphis and really struggled. Really, really struggled. But yeah, it's a very, very interesting one because it's funny even with like reclassifications. Like I like Gilbert Arenas kid reclassified, but like he's still going to be a lot older than Cooper Flagg is next year in college. He's going to be 9 months older than what Cooper Flagg was. Like he's born in March 2007, whereas Cooper Flagg is only 4 months older than him. But the guy is. We've not seen a 17-year-old. I'm not sure we've seen a better 17-year-old, to be honest, outside of Ricky Rubio. And I genuinely mean that. Like, I don't think LeBron was as good as Cooper Flagg was at 17. Might have been. He might have been. Like, he was ridiculous in high school. And, like, LeBron was a junior or was a senior in high school. No, maybe I'll put LeBron in there. But for me, in my lifetime, it's been LeBron, Luka. He's better than Luka was at 17. I watched Luka Doncic the year before he like really broke out. He's better than Luka Doncic was in the 2016-2017 season. And I don't know if he's better than Ricky Rubio. I don't know if you can put him on the floor in an Olympic final setting and outplay Chris Paul. Or an equivalent. And put him out on an Olympic final setting and, I don't know, outplay who was power forward for Team USA? Durant. Like, and Durant's not even prime. It's prime Chris Paul. Rubio outplayed. So, I don't know if he could quite do that. But he's... Because it's going to be a tough one. Like, because all the counting stats are going to say Dylan Harper. Neither of the kids can shoot. And that's one of the problems is shooting is so important in the NBA. And neither of them... genuinely, like, neither of them are going to be the greatest shooters. And I just think it's like, if Cooper Flagg is going to be minimum 7.5 out of 10 player. Like, he's going to be a minimum all-star player. Whereas Harper probably has higher potential, but also has a bit more bust potential. Either way, I rate these players super highly. I rate both of them really highly, and I think they're both really, really good players. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it for the Cooper Flagg fella and Duke Blue Devils. And Duke are looking pretty good. Like, you never know. They could go and... Like, if they manage to win a championship off the back of a just freshly 18 Cooper Flagg, like, it's going to be a historic one. I don't think they're going to do it, but if they could, that would be crazy.